Looking back on my experiences with the occult, I've come to realize the importance of divination before spell work. There are times when we want to make changes in our lives and we're not aware of the outside forces working against us. These outside forces may be people we know or unseen forces in the spiritual realm. As many of you know, I had obstacles for many years in my life and had no idea who was involved. Everyone knows you have to face challenges and obstacles head on, but how can you if you're not aware they exist? That is why divination is so important in spell work. It's better to work out issues one at a time, and the divination can help reveal what's going on behind the scenes. Divination is derived from the Latin word divinare, which means to foresee and predict the future by means of occult ritual or practice. There are many forms of divination. If you're currently practicing a form of divination, I encourage you to do so, especially if you want to perform spells. This will give you a clear picture on how to navigate through goals by combining cleansing, healing, and protection work. For example, you may want to change jobs, but the situation is not so easy because you may have something or someone blocking you. Before doing a spell to get a new job, you have obstacles to remove first. This is where cleansing, protection, and possibly healing spells come in. There are many great tarot readers on social media, and you may use tarot online or maybe a reader yourself. If that is your method, I encourage you to keep going. This video is for those who are new to divination and for those who may be experienced in one form of divination but may want to learn another method. Many would ask, why does a psychic person need a divination method? Well, most of my messages come through intuitively, yes, but a lot of my past problems I was unaware of. For those who know my history, I was focused on people and situations around me and trying to put out fires in the wrong place. Had I received a reading or used my own tarot deck, I could have understood the serious nature of the issue sooner, combining my psychic intuition along with divination. So the answer to the question would be, why would a psychic person need to use divination? It would be to make sure the issue is understood from the foundation instead of just what is on the surface. I want to add that I found out that I was a clone by a tarot reader on YouTube. I had stumbled upon her video, which I believe I was intuitively led to watch by divine forces. That issue was the root of my problem. How the hell could I have known? She had a deck that actually mentioned cloning, which was a surprise to me since older decks that I have don't address those issues. Some of the newer tarot decks are amazing. I have 3 tarot decks at home, and my first deck was purchased in the 1990s, which would be the Rider-Waite deck designed by Pamela Coleman. The other deck I have is the Angel deck by Doreen Virtue. These were given to me as a gift, and I love the feel of them. The Gypsy Witch deck I got over 20 years ago is more like playing cards that have special writing on them. I don't really consider the Moon Witch deck in my collection tarot cards. I would consider them more like oracle cards, but they are a great tool to have anyway. Hopefully this video will not only help you learn a new skill, but it may be a gateway to branching out and trying the tarot and collecting different decks. As mentioned earlier, I'm teaching 2 forms of divination today. First, I'm starting off with cartomancy, which is divination by playing cards. That's right, the good old-fashioned playing cards you use to play poker and solitaire. In the second half of this video, I will be teaching a brief lesson on ostrogalomancy, which is fortune telling by dice. Let's get right into it. Amazing. If you do research on the origins of tarot or playing cards, expect to find several different versions of where and when they were invented. There has been much debate as to whether playing cards were invented before the tarot. Many believe that playing cards came first and were invented in China or somewhere in the Middle East. Others argue and say that playing cards were made to imitate tarot cards, which many believe were invented in Italy, specifically to play a game called Tarot Noci in the 15th century. What can be confirmed as fact is that both the tarot and the reading cards have been used for centuries as entertainment as well as for fortune telling. The reason I chose to teach divination by playing cards instead of teaching the tarot is because I wanted to make it easy on my much appreciated viewers. Playing cards and dice are common objects in the home and most likely something you already have. The tarot is a great divination tool, but I figured playing cards were more convenient. I'm a huge fan of the tarot, and I can see why a lot of people collect several decks. They can get addictive. There are so many different versions and interpretations in the artwork of each deck. Also, like I had mentioned about the more updated versions of the tarot, they are quite impressive. Older decks don't address things like gang stalking and cloning, and some of the newer decks are just spot on. Okay. For those that know me personally, they should remember that I'm a huge Hello Kitty fan, and yes, there are tarot decks with Hello Kitty on them. I don't know what happened to them, but I did have a Hello Kitty deck of playing cards, and I'm hoping that they're in my storage boxes because if I lost the Hello Kitty playing cards, that would make me quite sad. I wasn't able to find an image with the Hello Kitty tarot or playing cards online. I didn't want to violate any imaging regulations, but you can do a search for them and you will definitely find them. Also, if you are an anime fan or maybe a fan of Snoopy, you can also check for playing cards or tarot cards with their images on them as well. You might as well go ahead and use your favorite pals to help you gain insight into your life. Let's start by comparing how playing cards resemble the tarot. The tarot has 78 cards divided into sections, the major and minor arcana. Many speculate that the minor arcana, consisting of 56 cards, were created first, and the major arcana, made up of 22 cards, were added later. The minor arcana in the tarot is divided into 4 suits that reflect our everyday challenges and obstacles. Pentacles to represent money and the material world, such as property and business. Cups to represent relationships and emotions that can be happy or sad. Wands to represent adventure and competition. And swords to represent strategies, dealing with conflicts, and showing ambition. Playing cards have 52 cards and are also divided into 4 sections that provide insight into our earthly life. The diamonds in the playing card deck is the equivalent to the pentacles in the tarot. Hearts would be the equivalent to cups. Clubs would be comparable to wands. And the spades in the playing cards equate to the swords in the tarot deck. The minor arcana correlates to playing cards, and both the tarot and playing cards represents all 4 elements. The Joker in playing cards is believed to have originated in the United States during the Civil War as a trump card for the game of euchre. The Joker found its way into other games, often being used as a wild card. Using the Joker in card readings is optional. Many who are familiar with the tarot may suspect that the Joker was made to match the Fool in the 22 cards of the major arcana. The Joker of playing cards is often compared to the Fool in the tarot, since they share many similarities in appearance. It is not uncommon to find 2 Jokers in a playing card deck. Sometimes one Joker is in black and white and the other appears in color. Interpretations for each are listed in the Divination by Playing Card cheat sheet I created. To get the cheat sheet, check the information in the description box. If you choose to use the Joker in your reading, refer to the Joker section of the cheat sheet before proceeding with your reading. Once you have your deck, remember to cleanse and charge your cards. Your deck of cards is your divination tool, and it's important to establish a link with your cards. Cleanse your deck by using sage or a purifying incense, and pray that you receive divine guidance. Use cleansing incense, such as Nag Champa, Palo Santo, or Dragon's Blood. Of course, a smudge sage stick is also appropriate. Find a place to store your cards. Your deck is for you, and your cards are personal. You can find card boxes at different stores specifically for divination, or you can keep them in a cloth in a drawer. Keep your deck of cards out of the hands of others. I want to mention that playing cards are rather inexpensive. I was able to find a double pack at the Dollar Tree. If you live with others and they feel a bit left out because they want to touch your cards, you can easily buy them a deck with little money. I wanted to throw in a picture of the cards I purchased at the Dollar Tree a few years ago. I just recently went to Dollar Tree a few days ago and I saw that these cards are still there. These came in a pack of 2. The first box was blue and the other pack is red. I'm not sure what I did with the red pack. I might have given them to my son or whatever. But you get 2 packs of cards for only $1.25. Here in California, there's state tax. I don't know where you guys live, but that's a really good bargain for giving out a gift for somebody who wants to either play cards or somebody who wants to tell their fortune. Prepare for the readings. Find a quiet spot in your home where you will not be interrupted. If sitting at a table, you may wish to use a special tablecloth. Feel free to add crystals that assist in intuitive work, such as amethyst or quartz crystal. You can also perform readings on your bed or sitting Indian style on the floor. Light a stick of incense, such as jasmine, sandalwood, or another psychic-inducing scent to set the mood. Add candlelight, but make sure the lighting is bright enough to read the cards. If you saw my color magic video, you may wish to perform your card reading using a blue light bulb. You may want to listen to some esoteric style music to really get into the feel of it. Do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable, relaxed, and open to psychic messages. There really is no way to shuffle cards wrong. If you're using a deck that has never been used, you may have to mix them up more to get them separated from how they were packaged. When shuffling the cards for a reading, think of the question you want to ask. If a card pops out while shuffling, accept it as a sign and use that card. Some people select the card on top after the deck has been shuffled. Some split the deck and choose a card that is being revealed. Do what is best for you. Another method is after shuffling the cards, spread them out on the table upside down and carefully select each card. We are going to go over 3 simple readings. The first one is a 1-card reading, which can answer a quick question. The second reading is the 3-card reading that provides insight on the past, present, and future of your question. The third reading is called a 10-card reading that some refer to as the Celtic Cross. This reading dives deeper into your question. In this example, we are going to pretend that the card readings are for a girl named Anne, who wants to open a new restaurant and wants to know if it's a good time to do so. While shuffling the cards, Anne thinks of her question. Is now a good time to open a restaurant? Anne then picks up Ace of Diamonds and reads the interpretation. That looks pretty good. She feels as though that's a good sign, but wants to know a little bit more information. Anne decides to do a 3-card reading to get insight on the past, present, and future relating to the question, is now a good time to open a restaurant business? Her spread looks like this. The first card Anne chose was the 5 of Hearts. The first card represents the past. Referring to the Divination by Playing Cards cheat sheet, she sees that the meaning is as follows. 5 of Hearts. Someone in your life is jealous of you. Make sure to get proper rest. The second card drawn is the 8 of Clubs, meaning problems in business and personal relationships. Jealous and greedy people are hovering. The last card is what is to be expected in the future. Anne's third card is the 9 of Diamonds, which means contentment with how things are financially, new business opportunities on the horizon, relaxation with free time. Based on Anne's 3-card reading, we can see that in the past she had problems with jealous people that caused problems in her business and personal relationships. Currently, Anne is still dealing with jealous people, as indicated by the 8 of Clubs. However, her final card, the 9 of Diamonds, shows that her future will be rather positive. Overall, Anne should be feeling positive, but needs to be aware of jealousy around her. She may want to wear a protective amulet, such as the evil eye, to avert any danger from those who wish to sabotage her plans. The last reading example I'll be sharing is the 10-card reading. This reading is sometimes referred to as the Celtic Cross when using the tarot. All spreads that can be done with the tarot can be done with playing cards. This spread provides more information such as what obstacles are involved and what the underlying issue is. In a 10-card reading, card number 1 represents you or the situation. Card number 2 represents obstacles or challenges affecting the issue. Card number 2 is usually placed sideways to indicate challenges and obstacles. Card number 3 represents the foundation of the situation. Card number 4 represents past issues or events relative to the situation. Card number 5 represents the present. Card number 6 is what's coming up next in the future. Card number 7, it's your will in the situation. Card number 8 is what others want for you. Card number 9 is your hopes and your fears in the situation. And card number 10 represents the outcome. The first card Anne picked was the 6 of Hearts, which means good luck, a secret helper is on your side. The second card chosen was the 8 of Clubs, which indicate problems in business and personal relationships. Jealous and greedy people are hovering. The second card, the 8 of Clubs, is crossed over the card that indicates Anne, which would be the 6 of Hearts. This is supposed to indicate obstacles. Card 3 represents the foundation of the situation. The card that was selected was the 6 of Clubs, which means success in business and getting support from others. Card 4 represents past issues or events relative to the situation. The card chosen was the 7 of Hearts, which means love has now turned to hate. Beware of enemies. Card 5 represents the present. The card chosen is the 2 of Diamonds, a love relationship not approved by others, a business partnership. Card number 6 represents what's coming up next in the future. The card selected was the 10 of Clubs, which means abundance and satisfaction for all your hard work, fulfillment in family and work life, opportunities for travel abroad. Card number 7 is your will, or who you are in the situation. The card chosen is this Queen of Diamonds, which means a woman of wealth and status in an authority position with blonde or red hair, having green or blue eyes, a social butterfly who loves to gossip. Keep in mind that a lot of the court cards, which would be like the Queen, the King, the Jack, sometimes are described with physical appearance. She may not even be a woman who has blonde or red hair, but the attributes that are associated with her might be the social butterfly who loves to gossip. She also might be a person of authority. Card number 8 represents what others want for you. She picked the 9 of Spades, which is bad luck in all aspects of life, lack of energy, depression, and anxiety. Expect endings. I do have an asterisk here on the cheat sheet that I did create, which is attached. The information to access that is in the description box. I do offer, suggestions when people pull cards that are negative. Spades are not all negative, but there tends to be a lot of negative spade cards. So for those, like for example, in this one, I'm thinking, okay, if I have, negative energy, what do I want to do? In this spread, I can tell that Anne is dealing with jealous people, and she's dealing with people who probably sabotaged her plans in the past. So, sometimes there's nothing really to worry about, but sometimes, you just want to take those extra precautions. So I'm suggesting things like ritual baths, getting not a talisman, but like an amulet or something along those lines. Card number 9 represents your hopes and fears in the situation. Anne selected the color Joker. The meaning of that is an intelligent person with spiritual insight, sudden good fortune with pleasant surprises. Keep in mind that use of the Joker card is optional. I threw it in this reading. Card 10 represents the outcome. She selected the 10 of Diamonds, which means great things are happening, happiness, fulfillment in finances, and personal goals. Expect money to come in and possibly travel. Based on cards 1 and 2, Anne seems to be a lucky person who has the support of a person or entity, regardless of the toxic people around her. She is represented by the Six of Hearts, and her obstacle or challenge is to deal with jealous people who meddle in her affairs, as indicated by the Eight of Clubs for card number 2. There are those who support her, as shown by the Six of Clubs for card 3. Card 4 with the Seven of Hearts indicates relationships that have turned into enemies, and based on card 5, we can see that her love relationship seems to be resented by others. Although her enemies caused problems in the past, cards 6 and 7 indicate that Anne will overcome the issues and should look forward to the future, even though her enemies wish her ill luck, as shown by the Nine of Spades for card number 8. Anne hopes to have good fortune and pleasant surprises in her business plans of opening a restaurant. Anne got the Joker for card number 9. By the looks of it, getting the 10 of Diamonds for card number 10, Anne is on her way to success with her restaurant. Even though Anne has negative people around her, she will be triumphant. Anne will move forward with her plans, but will be cautious when dealing with people from her past that caused her problems. Her enemies seem to resent her, but currently just sit back and hate her without any confrontations. Astrogalomacy, divination by dice. The history of dice is uncertain, but what is known is that they've been in use before recorded history. Many people believe that dice developed from a fortune-telling practice using the talus of hooved animals, informally known as knuckle bones. The oldest known dice were excavated and recognized as part of a backgammon-like game in southeastern Iran, estimated to be around 2500 BCE. Games involving dice are mentioned in the ancient Indian Rig Veda and the Artha Vedya, and the biblical references to casting lots indicate that dice were used at that time. This is a practice known as cleromancy. Much like the tarot and playing cards, dice too have a confused history of being used for games and fortune telling throughout the world, but exactly where and when they originated are debatable. For divination with dice, you're going to need 3 six-sided dice, the standard type you see in board games. If you only have 1 dice, you can roll it 3 times. Just take notes to remember and keep track of what you rolled. Okay, the second thing you're going to need is a flat surface to roll the dice. You can roll the dice on a table or you can roll it on the floor. That's fine. Also, you'll need a room or space where you won't be interrupted. Okay, I just had to come on here and brag just a little bit about the other great find I found at the Dollar Tree. I purchased these foam dice maybe about half a year ago or so. They are still in the package. But mind you, the reading requires 3 dice. And in this particular pack, I get an extra dice. That's right, 4 dice come in this pack. So if you have kids, you can buy like 2 packs and both kids have enough dice. Or if you had 3 kids, right? So 4 times that's 12. So you would be able to divide those dice equally, and for a very small price. Dollar Tree has a lot of great items. They have packs of cards, they have dice, they also have candles, and sometimes I've seen incense there. Dollar Tree is a great place to start, collecting your items. The first step is to clear your mind. Take a few minutes to clear your mind before you ask the question. Make sure what you are asking is specific, such as, what will be the outcome if I opened a new business? The second step, of course, is to roll the dice. Once you have a clear question in mind, roll each dice 1 at a time. If you only have 1 dice, roll it 3 separate times. The third step would be to interpret the meaning of each dice. Refer to the Divination by Dice cheat sheet I created in the description box. The fourth step would be to calculate the total of the dice. Refer to the number correspondence guide on the bottom section of the Divination by Dice cheat sheet. Okay. In this example, Brenda wants to start a laundry and dry cleaning business. She asks, should I open a laundry and dry cleaning business? She then rolls the dice. Brenda refers to the dice interpretations and gets answers for each dice. The first dice she rolled landed on number 6, which means losing support of a friend or family member. Expect bad luck in business dealings. Her second dice showed number 5, renewal of the spirit with assistance from helpful people. An old friend returns. The third dice landed on number 4, which indicates stagnant times with temporary setbacks. Brenda then adds the total of her dice. 6 plus 5 plus 4 equal 15. Okay, Brenda now knows that her number is 15 and references the number correspondence guide. It looks as though she should actually proceed with her plans because the answer would be absolutely yes. Now, keep in mind that things could change in the course of her pursuing her goals. This is one of the reasons why Get Divination is so important, so that, maybe once a week or something, she could set aside some time to roll the dice again. Or if her choice of divination is using the cards, she might want to go ahead and make using divination a regular part of her practice. It's a good idea to keep track of your readings in your notebook. List the cards or dice numbers drawn. As time goes on with cleansing and protection work, your readings will become more positive if they aren't already. I hope this video helps you to develop an interest in divination. To get the Divination by Playing Cards and Divination by Dice cheat sheets, you can locate them in the description box below. Thank you for watching.